Okay.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a new podcast in IT Talks, where we talk about IT ethical issues and topics that are of relevance in the world. Our topic for today is government filtering and control of the internet. So, first of all, what is it? What is government filtering and control of the internet? This topic relates very closely with internet censoring, but it relates to the processes and the decisions that governments take regarding the internet, how they choose to monitor or not to monitor their citizens, how they choose which sites to block, how they choose to restrict the type of content that goes online and to whom this content is available. The literal definition of internet filtering is that internet filtering refers to the technical approaches to control access to information that resides on the internet. So we're talking about the technical strategies that governments employ in order to stay on top of their citizens. So when talking about internet censorship and government filtering, the extremes always come into mind. So we're talking about communist Russia or China, for example, that have gone to the extreme, as you can see in the title of this news article, that they consider removing internet as a whole and replacing it with more of a nationalized private networks that the government can closely control. So what are the arguments to do this? Why do governments filter? So the first argument is to protect intellectual property rights. So this is an effort to combat all of the pirateering that goes on online. The second one, and maybe the most popular, is to fight against national security. So this is fighting against all the communications or deals that are being done online that may bring a threat to the home country. And the last one, that may be the most controversial one, is to maintain the values of each country. So more strict countries may restrict more their web because they believe that the illegal and sinful stuff that resides online is goes against the country's values. So how is it restricted? What are the technical processes that exist that governments employ to restrict the internet? The first one and the most common one is technical blocking. So this is blocking by geolocation. So if I am in China, I cannot access Facebook, for example. So the government itself programs the networks to block certain sites for users to not be able to access them when they are in a specific part of the world. The second one is search result removals. So this is when private companies such as Google come in contact with the government and the government asks them not to remove a site because they legally can't, but just to make it very difficult for people to find it. So to remove it from the default browser of Google. So this is where the dark web comes into place. That's why you can find the highly illegal websites on default browsers such as Safari or Chrome. The third one is takedown. This is when proper legal action is taken against a site and it is taken down. And the final is self-censorship. This is a psychological trick that governments employ to influence the user into censoring themselves. So this brings into play a lot of IT issues. So the first one is digital divide. Those with limited access to the growing internet will have a very hard time adjusting to the World Wide Web, because if the entire world is advancing at a certain pace, but someone in the communist regime or in a dictatorship does not learn the tools of how to properly do business in the internet, of how to take advantage of it, if that person is later introduced into the world, it will create a great data divide because they will not know how to travel along this new and ever-evolving technology. And the biggest issue is a serious privacy issue. Who is the government to regulate what I want to see? Who is the government? Under what right? Under what criteria do they choose to? What right do they have to choose for me what is okay for me to see? What is okay for my kids to see? What is supposed to be the thing that is available to me? Who is making that decision? Thank you very much. We hope that you liked the IT Talks Governmental Filtering and Control of the Internet podcast. Thank you.